Alrighty, we have Coach Kyle Brummett and members of Wabash College Little Giants. And Coach, I'll start with you. This is always a very bittersweet moment at the end of the year, especially at this level. But just talk about what the two guys sitting next to you have meant to this program and just your season as a whole. It's a long journey, and it's to culminate here. Just talk about how special it's been.
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is Elmhurst and Coach Baines. They did an unbelievable job. They played outstanding. They're physical. They guarded us as well as we've been guarded all year. So, you know, it's a really tough thing to swallow, and that'll lead me into talking about these guys. But they deserve a lot of the credit. They made it really hard on us. So it's going to be a great game tomorrow. I hope most of the people will come back. Hoosiers should come back to watch good basketball. So I'd like to start with that. These two guys, they've changed. You know, the basketball part of it's easy to see. We had 16 other guys in the locker room today and one of them in particular is talking about how these guys have changed his life. And, you know, not a whole lot of details, but, you know, he meant it. And these guys have changed my life too. And I'm fortunate. I've been doing this a long time, and I've had really good teammates when I was in college, and I had good teams when I was an assistant, and good teams at other stops along the way. But this group has been very unique. Unique in the sense that we have taken our lumps in the past, and we've stuck together. And this season was about as picture perfect from a coach's standpoint as you could draw up. You know, I mean, these guys, they probably don't want to admit it, but you know, even getting off to a rough start, you know, like as a coach, you want to challenge them. You want them to be ready for the things in life that are going to hurt them. You know, and tonight won't define this team. Tonight will disappoint this team, but it won't define this team. And these two guys are as good as any two players in the country. They've worked as hard as any two players in the country. And that's how I'll remember them, and that's how I'll continue to love them and work with them and their teammates too. And I was just really proud of how our locker room reacted as we were disappointed.
I'll open it up now for questions for Coach of the student athletes. Bob.
Jack, you've had all kinds of different defensive thrown at you this season by a lot of great players. Talk about how Elmhurst defended you tonight and kind of what their pressure was like and some of the help side on the defensive end.
Yeah, they were trying to no-catch me a lot of the game. Credit to Hooker, he did a really good job. And they were trapping ball screens out of the ice, making it difficult for me to get my own shot. I needed to do a better job of taking care of the ball and finding my teammates, but I got to give a lot of credit to those guys. They did a good job.
Yeah, Coach, obviously tough point in the game for y'all when Kellen is disqualified. Maybe talk about the impact he had. He had 10 of y'all's 24 points at that point, and I've really been playing a key role for you guys offensively.
Yeah, I mean, he made a really bad play, you know, and you know, he doesn't want to play that way. You know, we don't want to play that way, and you know, there's consequences. So, you know, it hurt us. You know, it didn't hurt us any more than it's hurting him right now. So, we love him to death. It's just, you know, it's just another piece of what made the night difficult and disappointing.
Jack, I know it's hard now when you didn't get quite as far as you wanted to, but are you able to reflect back on how far you've come since that first day you stepped on campus, 5 years ago now, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I've been able to reflect, but I'm just overall just super grateful for this guy sitting next to me, for this guy, all the seniors and all those guys in the locker room. We've built lifelong friendships. I look at him as like a father figure. And I just love these guys to death.
Even here, bro.
Coach, no, we've talked about the support that you guys have gotten this year. Breaking school records, it's just, talk about the overall something the fans showed out tonight.
Yeah.
You guys here on the stadium.
Yeah, what was the attendance tonight?
49-19.
It's pretty good. You know, everyone had hoped for a turnout like that, and you know, from that standpoint, they didn't disappoint. I mean, you know, it adds to the regret. You know, like we would have liked to have played better for the people that came out. But you know, that's the special thing about Wabash. You know, like I can specifically remember losing at home against Oberlin and walking in front of our students and telling them, we will be better. We will be better. Come back. We'll play better. And we won 24 in a row. You know, and you know, it's a special place. You know, I mean, I'm just really proud that so many people got to see it. You know, like, you know, so much of tonight is not going to leave us anytime soon. You know, so you know, it's for me, like sitting here right now with this hard, you know, this feeling. It's also easy to remember how many people drove to Atlanta to watch us and how many people followed us to Bloomington, and you know what that crowd was like. And you know, it's just it's a special place. We have special guys. The people appreciate what our guys are doing. You know, winning the 24 games in a row brought us together, but you know who these guys are is really what makes Crawfordsville and our alumni and our faculty. I mean, there's so many faculty members here today. It really, they buy into the kind of guys that we have, and you know that's not just our team. That's our students. So yeah, like I said, I hope they come back tomorrow.
Yeah, over here.
Question for Tyler and Jack. You heard Coach. Tonight was disappointment for this team, but it won't define this team. Guys, you've been 4-year, 5-year players. Look a little bit beyond, 2 years beyond, 3 years beyond your freshman and sophomore. What kind of impact, what kind of message do you want to send to the next little Giants coming along? And maybe also to the North Coast Athletic Conference?
Yeah, I guess I'll echo kind of a little bit what I talked about in the locker room is it's crazy to think like these two guys, they define it like lazy people. They do a little amount of work and wonder why they're not succeeding. Like these two guys obsess day in, day out, work their asses off every single day, and then wonder, am I doing enough? Like, and that's what's coming to mind. And it's crazy to think like you put in all this work, all these extra hours, and you get this result, you get this feeling, and like it doesn't seem fair in the moment, but I think the one thing that I want future players and anyone who plays college basketball to know is like invest in it. Give your all to it. Day in, day out. You won't regret it. You won't regret the lessons you learned. You won't regret the lessons you're taught by the coaches, by your brothers. If you give your full self every single day, I mean, you can't lose. The scoreboard won't define the wins and the losses. Like I know from these two guys, my brothers, my other coaches, like no matter what life is gonna throw at me after this, I'll be all right. I've worked through, I've been disappointed before, and I found ways to win. I found ways to succeed, and I think that's just what I tell anyone who's wondering, should I play college basketball? Should I play Division III basketball? I mean, why would you play Division III basketball? That's why. I mean, 10 times out of 10 would do it all over again. I kind of wish Coach Brem would have came into the locker room, screamed and yelled at us, told us we should have played better. But, yeah, when you get to the end of the road, you got to reflect a little bit and just be thankful.
I mean, Tyler hit on a lot of great points there. I would just say cherish every moment. You can look at all the on-the-court moments, but it's the off-the-court moments that I'm going to miss the most. Having dinner at his house, hanging out with all my buddies in our room, the road trips, just all of that. It's just, it goes by so fast. And right now it sucks because you look back and I'm not going to be able to go on another road trip and spend that time with the guys that we've built these friendships with. So it sucks, but it's been the best 5 years of my life.
4.5.
4.5. It's been the best time of my life. So just cherish every moment that you get to spend with these guys, and you're going to form the best friendships of your life, and I'm just so grateful for all of it.
We'll do one more question right there.
Coach, obviously not the result you won tonight, but reflecting back, you win your first North Coast title this year, you win 24 games in a row, you make the run to the Final Four. How do you take what this group has done this season and use it as a platform for your program going forward?
I mean, these two guys, they've laid a really good foundation. You know, like I would say the platform. I mean, all the returning guys have seen how hard these guys have worked. You know, like you can't hide from the work. Like if you don't want to do the work, you're not going to get the results. And you know, I said this in last week's press conference after we won. I mean, you know, multiple teams that we've played in these 4 games before tonight could have been here too. You know, like there's no doubt they had guys that had really worked hard. They were talented. Like it could have been somebody else. You know, I'm going to hold on to the fact that, in my opinion, these two guys have been the hardest working. You know, and you know, like that's not anything against anybody else, but I've seen these guys. You know, and you know, whether it's a ball that bounces here or the horn goes off half a second, you know, earlier on my side, I'll go with these two guys as karma. You know, because they deserve it. They deserve to have great karma. You know, it's hard to think about coaching without these two guys. It really is. But we will. That's what we do. You know, and I told the team and I told these two, you know, like we had a bunch of guys that had really good things to say. Mostly our younger guys were thanking our seniors. You know, we'll be different. You know, I don't know if we'll ever be like we are now. I mean, these guys they're different. But we'll find a way to stay good. I mean, like Tyler said, you know, I'm a little obsessed.
All righty, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.